Welcome to luxury home decor, where simple materials become standout backyard features. Today we're exploring backyard pallet fence ideas that look upscale without the premium price. We'll cover planning, styles, finishes, and smart add-ons that boost privacy and curb appeal. If you enjoy clever, budget-friendly design, stick around and take notes. Please like, share, and subscribe to support more projects and get fresh inspiration every day. Whether your yard is small or sprawling, these ideas scale gracefully. Start with selection. Choose pallets stamped HT, meaning heat-treated, not chemically treated. Inspect boards for rot, protruding nails, and warping. Consistent sizes make layout easier, but mixed sizes can add a custom rhythm if planned carefully. Disassemble gently with a pry bar or oscillating tool to preserve length. Keep longer slats for frame pieces and shorter ones for infill. Sorting by color tone helps you pre-visualize patterns and achieve a cohesive, intentional result. Map your line. Use stakes, string, and spray paint to mark the fence path, noting slopes and obstacles like roots, sprinklers, or stones. Measure twice, then measure again for post spacing. Straight runs feel modern, while gentle curves soften small yards. Leave room for gates and wheelbarrow access. Sketch elevation views to confirm heights, shadow lines, and sight lines from windows. A clear plan prevents awkward transitions and ensures each section looks deliberate. Choose a structure. Two proven options are panel fencing and rail and picket styles. Panel builds assemble sections on the ground, then mount them to posts, great for solo builders. Rail and picket designs attach slats directly to horizontal rails, creating a classic rhythm and easy repair points. Consider wind exposure. Open gaps relieve pressure. Solid faces block views and sound. Incorporate metal post anchors if soil stays damp, protecting wood from long-term moisture. Set posts right. Dig holes below frost line or at least a third of your post length, widening the base for stability. Tamp gravel for drainage. Then pour concrete and confirm plumb with 2 levels. Brace until cured. If reusing pallet stringers as posts, reinforce with treated lumber or steel channels. Consistent height lines are crucial. Snap a chalk line across post faces to guide rail installation. A sturdy skeleton makes everything else simpler and longer lasting. Consider fence height. 4 feet suits garden edging, while 6 to 7 feet increases privacy near patios and hot tubs. Staggered heights create movement along long runs, especially beside pergolas or sheds. If codes limit height near streets, step the fence down gracefully, using planters or trellises to soften transitions. Remember neighbors' views and daylight. Tall solid panels can cast shade, which may help in hot climates but frustrate veggie beds. Try the horizontal look. Mount pallet slats horizontally for a sleek, contemporary vibe that makes small yards feel wider. Keep consistent gaps using spacers. 3/8 to 1/2 inch is common. Mix board widths for subtle texture, or align identical boards for minimalism. Hide screws with plugs or use dark trim screws that recede visually. A crisp top cap and shadow line beneath it make the fence read as custom, not improvised. Go vertical for classic charm. Vertical slats echo picket fences yet feel fresher with tight spacing and squared tops. Alternate board thicknesses to cast sculptural shadows throughout the day. 4 cottage style. Soften edges with a shallow arch across each panel. 4 farmhouse style. Add cross bracing in a contrasting color. Vertical layouts also shed water quickly, extending life. Use a string line to keep tops even, and add a thin cap for polish. Explore chevron and herringbone. Angle pallet boards at 45 degrees, meeting in the center to form dynamic V shapes. These patterns elevate even short runs into artful features. Build panels on a flat surface to maintain symmetry, then secure them to posts. A narrow border frame hides cut ends and keeps edges crisp. If you alternate light and dark boards deliberately, the pattern becomes more pronounced yet still tasteful in refined outdoor spaces. Create shadow box privacy. In a shadow box design, boards alternate on opposite sides of the rails, allowing air to move while blocking direct views. From angles, the fence looks solid. Straight on, it breathes. This approach is kinder to windy sites and reduces warping. Stain both faces before assembly to protect inner surfaces. If pets roam, add an interior mesh liner to prevent escapes without compromising the layered high-end appearance from the street. Blend wood and metal. Pair pallet slats with black powder-coated steel posts or aluminum channels for a luxe mixed material look. Metal strengthens corners and sets precise lines that elevate reclaimed wood. Consider flat bar trims to frame panels and hide hardware. Exposed fasteners in stainless or black can read intentional and modern. The contrast between warm wood grain and cool metal accents keeps the build from feeling rustic or improvised. Introduce lattice accents. A 12 to 18-inch lattice band along the top lightens tall fences, admits breezes, and hides uneven grade changes. Build a separate lattice frame to keep squares crisp and durable. For contemporary style, try horizontal slat lattice with uniform gaps instead of crisscross. Train jasmine, starglory, or climbing roses for fragrance and privacy without extra height. Lattice is also handy above gates to align sightlines across changing elevations. Make planters part of the fence. Box planters mounted between posts turn a boundary into a garden wall. Line boxes with pond liner, drill drainage holes, and use lightweight soil mixes. Succulents, herbs, and trailing varieties like bacopa perform beautifully in narrow containers. Stagger planter heights to animate long runs. If watering is a chore, install a simple drip line through the back, hidden by slats. Plants soften wood tones and invite pollinators. Add integrated seating. A low bench running along a section of fence instantly creates a conversation zone. Use pallet stringers as bench supports, then top with thicker boards or composite decking offcuts for comfort and durability. Tie the bench visually to nearby planters or a fire bowl using matching stain. Hidden storage beneath lift-up seats keeps cushions and tools handy. Lighting behind the bench casts a gentle halo that feels welcoming at night. Light it thoughtfully. Solar post caps, downlights tucked under top rails, and low garden uplights create depth and evening drama. Warm white temperatures feel residential and luxurious. Aim lights to graze textures rather than glare into eyes. Smart plugs let you automate schedules or respond to sunset times. If wires must cross panels, route in shallow channels and cover with trim. Night lighting multiplies the perceived value of even simple builds. Mind the gate. A well-made gate sets expectations. Build a rigid frame with diagonal bracing to prevent sag. Hang it on heavy strap hinges secured into posts, not just slats. Use a gravity latch or magnetic latch for smooth operation. Consider cladding both sides for symmetry. A modest arch or a change in slat direction distinguishes the gate without shouting. Final spacing at the bottom should deter pets while clearing patio mats and pavers. Choose finishes wisely. Exterior oil penetrates and highlights grain, while semi-transparent stain adds color yet shows texture. Solid stain hides defects for a cleaner canvas. Whatever you choose, seal end grain, screw holes, and cut edges thoroughly. Test samples in sun before committing. Colors read different outdoors. Dark tones look sophisticated but run warmer, while lighter tones reflect heat and expand perceived yard size. Reapply on a maintenance schedule for longevity. Consider caps and trims. A flat top cap protects end grain and gives a tailored silhouette. Add vertical corner trims to crisp edges, and a bottom skirt to conceal gaps along uneven ground. Thin shadow reveals between elements introduce a boutique, furniture-like quality. If your yard floods occasionally, swap a bottom skirt for open clearance to allow airflow and drying. Small detailing choices make reclaimed materials feel intentionally designed. Sound and privacy. If street noise intrudes, layer mass and planting. A double-boarded section near a seating area, combined with dense evergreen hedges, can soften traffic sounds. Tall, solid panels block sightlines, while shadow box or slatted sections maintain airflow elsewhere. Use acoustic mats behind focal sections if needed. Hidden by horizontal cladding. Thoughtful placement matters more than building everything heavy. Concentrate resources where people actually linger. These pallet fence ideas balance practicality with charm and invite creative weekend projects. Kid-friendly touches. Sand all contact edges silky smooth and recess fasteners. Add viewing windows at kid height using plexiglass or decorative cutouts shaped like circles or leaves. Chalkboard panels transform fence bays into play zones without occupying lawn. For safety, avoid climbable lattice near pools and keep gate latches out of reach. Brightly stained accents help kids recognize boundaries, while still aligning with the home's palette and overall style. Pet considerations. 4 dogs. Line the interior with welded wire mesh from grade to at least 2 feet high. Bury an L-shaped dig barrier of pavers or hardware cloth at the base. 4 cats. Add inward angled rollers on top rails. Avoid toxic finishes and remove all nails from repurposed slats. Create a peek window facing the street to reduce barking from curiosity. A small wash station near the gate makes muddy returns far less dramatic. Work with grade changes. Stepped panels create crisp terraces on slopes, keeping tops level across sections. For a softer look, choose racked panels that follow the ground angle with consistent bottom gaps. Always maintain clearance at the lowest point to avoid wood sitting in wet soil. If the slope is dramatic, break runs with short retaining planters that double as seating, creating a layered sculptural boundary that feels intentional rather than forced. Incorporate screens instead of long walls. Short, well-placed screens near dining areas provide targeted privacy without boxing in the yard. Arrange screens at slight angles to overlap sightlines. Mix solid sections with decorative cutouts or metal inserts for interest. Screens are easier to reposition later if your outdoor layout evolves. This modular approach lets you test finishes and patterns before committing to a full perimeter design. These pallet fence ideas balance practicality with charm and invite creative weekend projects. Create a feature wall. Dedicate one panel to a bold pattern or special finish. Burn shou sugi boards, whitewashed planks, or a painted mural using exterior paints. Use this wall as a photo backdrop or a focus behind a water feature. Lighting from above and below will make textures read distinctly at night. Feature walls shine in small courtyards where every square foot needs personality and purpose. Use color strategically. Neutral stains anchor the fence, then introduce color through narrow battens, planter boxes, or lattice frames. Repeating a door or window trim color outdoors ties house and yard together. If you change decor seasonally, keep the fence finish restrained and let cushions, flowers, and lanterns carry bolder tones. Consistency beats complexity. Choose 2 or 3 hues and repeat them thoughtfully for a curated aesthetic. These palette fence ideas balance practicality with charm and invite creative weekend projects. Grade hardware for elegance. Swap basic screws for matching black or stainless fasteners. Choose latches, hinges, and handles with clean lines and solid feel. Conceal brackets where possible, or celebrate them with symmetrical placement. Pilot drill every hole to avoid splits in dry pallet wood. Consider security screws on exterior faces. Small hardware decisions accumulate into a premium impression, just like well-chosen knobs on custom cabinetry. These pallet fence ideas balance practicality with charm and invite creative weekend projects. Think sustainability. Pallet wood diverts material from landfills and reduces demand for new lumber. Use water-based stains and low VOC sealers when possible. Collect sawdust and dispose of it responsibly, avoiding storm drains. Plan efficient cuts to minimize waste. And save offcuts for planter cleats or compost bin slats. When boards are too far gone, transform them into rustic art or kindling, closing the loop and honoring the material's full life cycle. Budget smart. Pallets are often free, but you'll invest in posts, concrete, screws, and finishes. Prioritize structural components first. Handsome cladding can follow as materials appear. Build in phases. Establish a strong, minimal frame, then clad sections over time. Renting a post hole digger or nail puller can save hours and reduce fatigue, paying for itself quickly. Keep a simple spreadsheet to track costs and compare to retail fence quotes. Bead tricks. Denail efficiently using a punch and hammer from the smooth side. Then flip and pull. Create a sorting station with labeled stacks for long, medium, and short boards. Use stop blocks on your saw for consistent repeated cuts. Pre-stain pieces on sawhorses to speed final assembly. Working methodically beats rushing. The project will look crafted rather than patched together, and the process feels calmer and more enjoyable. Weather protection matters. Elevate bottom rails on small spacers so water and leaf litter can pass underneath. Flash the top of posts with caps or a discreet metal strip under the wooden top cap. Where sprinklers hit fencing, swap to drip or adjust heads. In rainy climates, widen gaps slightly for airflow and faster drying. Maintenance becomes occasional touch UPS instead of major overhauls when you control water exposure from the start. Create zones with variations. Use solid panels near lounging areas. Then shift to open slats along property edges for air and light. A pergola entry framed by taller screens signals a transition to a cozy nook. Repeating a motif, like a thin reveal or a chevron panel, ties zones together without monotony. This zoning strategy turns a simple fence into a master plan that guides movement and frames views throughout the garden. Try mixed dimensions. Combine full-length slats with half-length pieces to create banding effects. Insert a narrow reveal every third board for rhythm. Rotate a few boards for vertical grain contrast within a horizontal field. These small variations add architectural character without complicating construction. Keep patterns predictable enough to feel intentional, not chaotic, and mirror them across corresponding panels so the eye experiences balance. These pallet fence ideas balance practicality with charm and invite creative weekend projects. At storage discreetly. A shallow cabinet between posts can hide hoses, garden tools, or outdoor cushions. Vent the cabinet and lift it off the ground to avoid moisture. Use the same cladding as the fence for a seamless look, but add a subtle handle or finger pull. Magnetic catches keep doors tidy. This tactic preserves patio simplicity while keeping essentials instantly reachable, a hallmark of thoughtful high-end outdoor design. Plan for utilities. Call before you dig to mark lines. Provide removable access panels where meters, valves, or cleanouts sit near the fence. Route low-voltage wiring in conduit and leave gentle service loops at transitions. Label any hidden junctions discreetly inside the yard. Future you will thank present you. And so will professionals who need quick access without dismantling your carefully crafted work. These pallet fence ideas balance practicality with charm and invite creative weekend projects. Winter strategy. In cold regions, design panels you can remove or partially open to relieve snow load and wind. Store spare stained boards flat and covered, ready for spring touch-ups. Add hooks for snow shovels near gates. And choose latches that operate comfortably while wearing gloves. In warm climates, plan shade breaks and use UV-resistant finishes. Seasonal thinking extends the life and enjoyment of your pallet fence investment. Accessorize with art. Hang weather-safe sculptural pieces, metal numbers, or outdoor mirrors to expand perceived space. Use French cleats for easy swaps and secure mounting. A narrow picture ledge integrated into a panel can display lanterns or potted herbs. Keep art clustered in a designated zone so the yard doesn't feel busy. Night lighting on these vignettes adds boutique hotel ambience without expensive materials. Grow vertically. Pocket planters, trellis panels, and cable grids let vines climb and soften strong lines. Choose species that match your sun conditions and maintenance appetite. Passionflower and mandevilla for flamboyance, ivy and jasmine for classic texture, edibles like peas or tomatoes for function. Ensure panels can handle the weight of mature plants. Irrigate thoughtfully to avoid staining and keep wood in good condition over seasons.